And I remember, coach, as a man, I was about I was probably about 14, coach, watching that Lincoln team, 13, 14 years old. And you guys gave a lot of hope to Dallas. This is before SOC was. You know, you guys were really coming out. I think you had Byron Eaton at quarterback. And you had a little walk me through that because for this younger generation, they may not know, but you guys was doing some stuff at that time.
Yeah, we were loaded, man. You know, people don't understand, man. You know,
for nearly 4 decades,
J&K Security Solutions has provided protection for homes and businesses. I know firsthand. I'm Jeff Beckman, and
weeks in the inner city. You know, just trying to keep a team together, keep a group of neighborhood boys together for 15 to 16 weeks in the inner city.
Whereas, man, all types of battles those guys go through on a night in, night out basis, man. And we're just trying to keep those guys motivated to come to school and at the same time perform on the football field. So people really don't understand what goes into all of that when they're trying to keep that mind right with that program. You know, so, that was Byron Eaton on that team. We had Eric Russell, was probably one of the best receivers, one of the first great receivers I ever coached. Then that was Mark Fisher. Then we had a handful of other good guys also too, you know. And we were able to make that state championship run, and we lost to Kilgore down at Floyd Casey Stadium in Waco in double overtime on a blocked field goal. I never forget that for the rest of my life. But, you know, just that season right there, it changed my life. And I can remember getting back to the school. We left that game. We drove back to South Dallas. That next Sunday morning, I remember getting a phone call from Coach Samples. He just called me and said, "Coach, come see me." Hung up in your face. That's how Coach was, you know. Yeah. Got something on his mind. He gonna call you early. You don't want to miss that phone call. And what he got to say, he gonna say it real quick. You know, go end that conversation very quick. So at the same time, I was thinking like, man, what did I do? You know. So he told me then that he had been offered the head football coaching job at Dallas Skyline and the campus coordinator, and he wanted me to come over and be his offensive coordinator, and I immediately said yes. And so we hit that ground 1,000 miles of running, and that really paved the way for starting those magical years over at Dallas Skyline, just grinding out, working everybody and attracting kids.
Yeah. Coach, what at Lincoln, or just in general, but at Lincoln, what was your coaching style? You know, like what type of coach was you? I know when I was at Skyline, I wasn't a starting up. I just remember you from on campus and playing JV, but you were kind of like the cool guy to me. I'm like, man, that's a cool kind of coach. What type of style did you have as a coach back then? Or what was your style?
It's still kind of similar to this day. You know, I like to establish deep relationship with players, students, players, people, period. I like to establish deep relationships. I like to win over trust. I like for those guys to trust me, and I want to trust those guys also too. So once we establish those lines and cross those barriers, then there comes the constructive criticism after that. And, you know, there's nothing personal because we already established true, deep, authentic type relationships. So, you know, I'm a coach still to this day of 1,000 personalities, you know, so I label myself, I don't always want to be a knucklehead style coach 24/7. So sometimes I'm a player's coach, you know. I can be like a brother. I can be a dad. I can be a teacher. I can be a homeboy. I can be a cousin, you know, so I can be an advocate for them. You know, I can be their lawyer, you know, so it's multiple ways I try to reach those guys. I try to balance that line, you know, as far as when I need to turn the switch up as far as getting results, and when I need to kind of mild the switch off as far as approach them a certain way, trying to keep those guys motivated to try to achieve and succeed each day.
You know, looking back, Coach, and thinking